If you've been following the low content book publishing industry, as of late, there have been a ton of YouTubers that have come to the forefront. And quite a few of them, do bear some great fruit and some information that you can actually put into your self-publishing businesses, and some not so much. But I'm very fortunate to actually speak to somebody today that I trust actually from watching numerous videos of hers on the Home Boss YouTube channel, that she actually is a decent person. She's actually dispensing realistic and practical advice if you're wanting to get into the world of low content book publishing. So I thought we'd go ahead, take a little bit of time, sit down, talk with Nuria Corbi of the Home Boss. And also, before I forget about this, she also publishes children's books, and she actually has a publishing course. I'll leave a link for that inside the show notes here inside the description. So without any further ado, let's get to the interview. You've built a devoted following on YouTube based on publishing no content and low content books. What did you find so enticing about publishing these types of books when you first started?
It was a way in, I guess. I love books. I've always loved books, and I didn't realize how much until I actually started this. And I think we've all had this idea somehow that, oh, I'm going to write a book one day. I think a lot of people say that. But it's a very, very abstract concept to write a book. No one knows how they would even start writing a book, never mind how to publish a book. And when I first started hearing about low content, it was kind of like a magic door that opened, and I thought, this is something that I can start. And it gave me an entry into publishing that I had no idea this was possible. And I'm absolutely in awe of the possibilities and of the opportunities that this has brought. So yeah, I think that's basically it in a nutshell.
What was your first book like, anyways, that you ended up launching? Can you remember it? Was it any
Yeah.
good? Did it take off? Was it like a big runaway hit for you?
Not at all. I think I actually looked this up the other day because I couldn't remember what my first book was. I always advise people to make a notebook just to learn the ropes, learn the process. And that's the easiest way to start. And you should always start with the easiest. But I actually made a budget planner because I'm not too keen on making notebooks anyway, because there's not much you can do with a notebook. You can just make a nice cover, and that's it. And I wanted something a bit more challenging, so I made a budgeting book for children. It didn't sell at first, and I don't think any of my first books sold at first. And I think I had about 30 books before I started to see some sort of sales. And it was Q4, so that really helped. So I think I was very lucky in that sense. And also, when you see some sales at the beginning, that gives you a real boost, and you think, oh wow, this can work. So yeah, that was a budget planner, the first one. And it wasn't great. When I look at it now, it's all wonky and it's not centered.
Yeah, you see those little tiny discrepancies that'll just drive you crazy. And the problem is you could go back and fix it, but couldn't you just go and just create something better instead with that time? So
I can't be bothered to fix it. I'll just leave it there. Some people have bought it and are happy with it. So,
There you go. Sometimes you just know done's better than perfect, right?
You never know. That's true.
What were your keys to success? I mean, I know I've seen some of your income reports before, and you're obviously doing something correct.
I think, first of all, it was Q4 when I started. I started in October 2019, at the end of October. So we're going into November straight away, then December. So I did get some sales. And I think, looking back now, I ask myself that question a lot. What did I do that is maybe different to what other people are doing? I think I love it. I really enjoy it. And I think that really brings its own success, because I like it and I love doing it. It doesn't feel like work, and then the money just comes. That's what I think of in other areas as well. I think if you're happy to do something and you enjoy something, it reflects in your work. I had businesses before. I had a jewelry business. I don't wear jewelry. I don't like jewelry.
Wow.
And I had a jewelry business. So no wonder it didn't work. so so it's one of those things. I think when you love something, and I love books, that was it. Maybe I was lucky. I don't like to talk about it in terms of luck, because it was a lot of hard work. It
Yeah.
was hours and hours and hours of watching YouTube videos, and that's work. It's not like watching YouTube videos for the fun of it. It
Right, right.
was,
It's not cat videos. You can't.
no, they came across there as well, but I did
Yeah.
stumble across them. But no, it was taking notes and treating it like a classroom almost, really watching lots of YouTube videos, how to do this, how to do that, studying the niches. I was looking at books. I was going into bookshops and having a look, and what kind of books are out there that I could recreate. So there was a lot of research, a lot of learning before I even started. And I think we never think of that before, all the preparation. And it looks like I started making money straight away, but I didn't really, because all of that work came before. So I would always say to people, it's not something you can do quickly. It's like any other business. It takes time, takes hours and hours. And yeah, and I was lucky that I could do it full time, because all my children are grown up. My husband's quite good by himself, so I don't have to sort of set aside many hours for other things. I could work my own hours, and that is a big deal as well. I admire anybody that has a job and does this as a side hustle, or
Yeah.
people that have children and have to look after them. It's a completely different game then, and it will take longer. If you don't have the hours that I had, it will take you longer. That's what I think.
Gotcha. Is there anything you do differently now than what you did from the outset? And I know that's kind of a loaded question. We could probably spend the next
Yeah.
2 hours, but what are some best practices that you do now, but you didn't do before?
Well, there's a lot of things that I didn't know when I first started, and you make mistakes. That is, and I think now I know more about the business, so I make less mistakes. I research in a different way. I can almost see now if something is going to bring problems. I know when someone says, "Can I make a book in such and such a niche?" And I know straight away that's going to be a problem because of, I don't know, different things. You just instinctively find things that work and things that don't work. Do I do anything differently? I think I've learned to prioritize things, and I've learned to utilize my time better, because when you first start this, it's chaos. You don't know where to start, and you kind of fall into a routine. I don't think there's any guidance I can give in terms of this is a formula and do this and you'll get there.
Yeah.
It works differently for everybody. Everyone is different, and you just have to find your own way in this. Yeah.
How do you prioritize your tasks then? I mean, so it sounds to me like you really organize what you set out to do throughout your day, your week, and of course your year.
I'm the most unorganized person you could ever meet. I'm a complete mess. I have a very messy house. I'm a mess. I'm very bad at organizing myself, but maybe I'm not that bad thinking about it now, because now I'm thinking I've actually managed to create things that did take organization. My husband and I, we're in this together. I mean, he still has his job, and the plan is to retire him so that he can come and work with me. And I always discuss it with him, and we always have this we call it a meeting, work meeting with my husband. So weird. But we always discuss this, and we say, let's make a plan. And he's really good. He's a really good analytical person, whereas I'm a bit more, so he kind of grounds me, and we make a plan as to what do we do Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and then make it into compartments where we do certain things. And that has really helped me a lot. I think when I started doing that, that's when I saw the business really taking off in other ways. Yeah.
Wow, that's exciting. I look forward to hearing from you in the day that your husband gets to quote unquote retire from his job and
Yeah,
actually get to work with you.
I can't wait.
It'll probably be a pleasure. Yeah, it's really cool to see that also you've evolved what you've done through the YouTube channel, and you've evolved what you've done as a business owner. last year you reached out to me about a children's book creator course. And I'm sorry, I never got all the way through it, but I did watch enough of it to know that it's solid. And this is, by the way, this is not paid advertising here, folks. She's not paying me to say this. I won't have an affiliate link, but I'd be happy to send you on over that direction.
Absolutely.
Why did you decide to pivot to children's books? Was this the natural progression in the direction that you were wanting to go to?
I think so. I think that I'm a naturally very childlike person myself. I kind of think, I used to be a teacher, and I used to teach children and adults, all ages, but I used to have an affinity with children. Like, I could see how they learn. Adults have got preconceived ideas of how to do something and children are just like a sponge. They take anything in, and I enjoy that. I enjoy teaching them and being silly with them, and somehow children's books were the next thing to this is what I love about low content, because it opens the door to so many other things. And it's just like a natural thing. You're using graphics from all sorts of places like Creative Fabrica, Creative Market, Canva, whatever, and you're putting together low content books. And I thought, well, why can't we use that to make a picture book, a children's picture book? Smart. So I did that, and they started selling, and that was right at the beginning, I think in the first 6 months. And then much later I thought, why don't I make a course? Why don't I teach other people how to do this? Because it was to me, it was like amazing. I could produce a children's book by myself without an illustrator, without anything really. And they look quite good, if I can say so. So I thought, this has got to be something that I can teach other people. And that's how it started. And it took me about a year to put it all together. It's quite a long course, over 70 videos. So
it was really good too. And the part that I liked about it is brevity. I didn't feel like I had to sit and watch like a 45-minute dissertation on how to put together a book. You did it in bite-sized pieces, and that's the part that I think that a lot of course creators miss out on. They like to just bloviate and share a lot about themselves, but instead of going and doing what you do, which is, let's get to the point, show me what I need to know so that way I can get out there and do it. This is so exciting to me to see you pivot towards this direction. And this is a little off script, so do you see yourself going, say, beyond children's books? Are you thinking of, say, writing full fiction or nonfiction books?
I don't know yet, but I know I do want to explore other things, and I want to continue with the children's books, and I want to continue making low content books, but I want to make them better. I want to put more content or more value into them. And who knows, maybe I'll write a novel one day or something like that. Definitely something. I would never say never to anything like that. I don't know if I would have the patience to write a whole novel, because they tend to be quite long, and I'm a short attention span person, really. So I think maybe short stories. That's another idea I had. Maybe I should write a children's book with short stories or something like that, or for adults for that matter. So definitely exploring other avenues. That's the exciting part.
As you have pivoted over into publishing children's books, which, something that you're super humble about and we need to kind of mention is the fact that you're an award-winning children's book author now. Like, how did that happen? Well,
Dale, funny you should say that. That was down to you, really, because you put me in touch.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You put me in touch with Hannah from Book Awards Pro.
Oh, I should have known. I saw her fingerprints on it from the start and I didn't notice it. Go ahead. I'm sorry. You have to inform everybody.
For that. Absolutely. You can take all the credit for that, because that was something that I did after speaking to you. And Hannah and I had a really lovely chat. She's amazing. And I signed up. And now I've got 3 awards for that one, for my first children's book, for the one that I made for the course. So I've got my certificate.
Oh my gosh.
Up there.
You like double dipped on that. You were able to use as an example, and also it's an award-winning example now.
I know. So, but I always think that if you're going to do something, do it really well and go the whole hog, So if I'm going to write a book, I need to win an award for that book. So
Congrats.
That's what I did. And I'm going to continue doing that. It's just so much fun as well. It kind of gives you validation, because we always doubt ourselves. I've got a huge imposter syndrome, and that really helped to kind of tell me that no, those are people in the industry that thought that my book was good enough. So I can do anything now.
So true. What's your publishing frequency going to be like for the children's books?
Oh God, I didn't publish any books last year at all. Just 2 books, I think, 2 children's books. The one for the cause, and then one that I did after to start off a series.
Yeah.
And that was it. That is bad. That's terrible. And this year, I've just launched another product, which is a mock-up generator for Canva. So I'm done with products for now, even though that is something that I want to explore. And I'm really going to concentrate on making more books. So I don't know what my schedule is going to be yet. Hopefully more than last year. So I've got to beat 2 books. So that's not bad.
I think that's the thing is, you and I can probably appreciate this. And I don't know enough viewers and followers understand that if we're slowing down in our marketing and promotion, if we're slowing down in our publishing some type of books, chances are very likely it's because our attention is being diverted towards things like YouTube. And YouTube's not easy. So it's one of those cases, a lot of people can't have their cake and eat it too. Oh, you want more content from me? That's great. But that's going to have to come from somewhere else.
Yeah.
And I think you should allow yourself some leniency, because for crying out loud, you published a 3-time award-winning book last year. I don't think there's too many other people that can go ahead and call claim to that. It's not like you went and paid for an award.
No.
Yeah, you paid an entry fee to get in for an award. But after that, you actually have to have a good book. And I know a number of people who've applied to some book award things and lost money on it because they didn't win.
There's no guarantee.
So that speaks volumes about what you're already doing. Hey, I got a big question here for you, and you can think a second on it. You've really experienced a lot over the last 2.5 years now, almost 2.5. What advice can you give to aspiring authors and self-publishers out there?
My first bit of advice is believe in yourself, because I think that is what's holding most people back. I think I don't know whether it's my age or what it is, but I've suddenly got this confidence out of nowhere. Maybe it's the book awards, I don't know. But I feel like I could do anything now, and it's kind of a revelation, because I'm thinking, why did I ever think that I couldn't? And I think people need to feel that. I think if more people felt that there's nothing really to hold them back other than themselves, they would succeed a lot more. I think we hold ourselves back a lot. We think we can't do something. And then whenever you have somebody giving you a reason why they can't do something, they're not reasons, they're excuses almost. They're like things they make up almost to say, this is why I can't do something. You can do it. There are physical limitations sometimes, but other than that, there's so much more than we can do than we think we can do. That's my biggest piece of advice, because I think that's the biggest hurdle that I've overcome. Thinking that I can't do something, and actually I can. So that gives you a lot of confidence to carry on and then achieving more things. And I think what you need to do is you need to take little baby steps, and then start with the first step, achieve that, set yourself another goal, achieve that, and then the more goals you achieve, the more confident you get. That's the best advice I can give you. Other than that, I can't give a lot of other advice, because it works differently for everybody. Everybody will have something that works better for them than for somebody else. You have to find what that is for yourself, basically. And enjoy it. If you don't enjoy something, don't do it. Try something else, because you have to find that thing that really makes you happy, that makes you want to get up in the mornings and continue. That's what it is, really.
Big special thanks to Nuria for taking some time out her day to spend some time with us. Again, folks, she does have a children's book publishing course. I actually took part of it, and it's pretty good. But at any rate, there will be a link for that inside the show notes and the description for the YouTube video. In the meantime, if you enjoyed this, make sure that you share it with somebody else that would enjoy it too. I will catch you guys in the next week's interview.